Because, you know, there's the north and south, there's the Harbor Ridge. So
You
some
need to be plugged in and all.
trucks do come down off a night and go into Harbor Ridge.
No, yep, okay.
Okay. The south end or the north end entrance is still closed. So I've got some people that want the north end open, but as soon as we open the north end, every vehicle is going to be going around. It's just, it's been a nightmare. And then you get some that, no, don't open it. So it's like,
Right. Very enjoyable, yeah.
yeah, I'm actually gonna try to get together with, John and, Brian Kelly from Lindy.
Okay.
Just see what they think.
Yeah.
No.
Because we've rented a couple digital signs too, and it's just,
Hmm.
Today.
but I think the project, I think is, the weather's been fantastic for them, other than 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, no, it's, this summer it's been dry since about middle of June.
Yeah, uh-huh.
May was pretty wet. I think.
As far as you know, do they think they're on schedule?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Well, they did vote on our thing, I talked to Trex last.
Before I forget, hello, Courtney. Thank you.
Hey, how are you, sir? Absolutely.
Weed and
Heck, yeah.
So she changed her, then you did the last minute.
Yes.
Hi, Christine, how are you? Good to see you. What's going on there, Bill?
Better though, because we're doing that.
Like that.
Oh, damn. I
Yes,
almost.
it'll be. Yeah.
Hi, Jason.
But anyway, that's. What's planning?
Where did it go with this one? It goes into, you go into the meeting and go into the chat. I see you at meetings. It's hard to find.
Oh. Oh.
Technology's working, is it? Looks like it's good. You have your.
They.
I can hear the beep of someone.
Okay. I really see.
Registered
I'll send her the-
So how you doing? Did you make all the arrangements? The operation?
Yes.
Have a seat.
You have a fun sit here. Okay. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
So it was done when I thought it was.
I'm gonna be a quick one. Gonna be a quick one? No, I worked those things first. I go in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
We had 3 work zones.
I have.
Awesome.
Wrap up 5 years.
Okay.
I was having.
If you can get a job. It's not so
Okay. Do they live out there? That way?
No.
She lives north of Spokane, Washington.
Oh, okay.
So it's attached between here
And then.
They've done a quarter of the damage. You know, after the chip, the car chip.
Yeah.
Back of that seal, I can't drive them.
I didn't do half hour.
Okay.
And,
Didn't do my
they did our street. No, no.
Athletically, I was.
Um,
Yeah. Old tips and beat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, they're the same, but first they had. He's going to show you. First time he did fine. The second one, he showed.
I didn't come in my long-term planning.
Good
review. If we don't respond back, we still understand it. I know, I told myself, that I didn't do. I get scolded.
Yeah.
I'm going, yeah, good.
Oh, yeah.
Happy about that.
Yeah. That was, that was.
Okay.
That council, they approved it. I did not get it signed yet. But it, it wasn't. Go ahead and proceed. As soon as I hear. You know, if you want to read, I don't remember this thing about the samples. It was a company that did it before.
Oh,
I don't know if you know, remember anything in the past.
no.
So,
Okay.
they did it several years ago.
Okay.
coming out in old 99.
I still haven't started one.
Still started on.
No. No.
How many other, are they done or pretty close?
One's done and one is pretty close, I think.
Okay.
But if they could, it's the one that they put new data on, starting from 9/2. Sign was black and the numbers were black.
Okay.
They seemed okay.
Let's start.
The changes to the
Pay
structure.
They sure is messing.
Maybe the slide over, so.
How really hard to do the same thing as whichever.
Same number and actually roll the.
Yeah, shift. is already- Somebody's gonna pay. In 99 and,
That's It's off the, it's asphalt off the paving truck tires. They didn't spill it.
they made a pretty mess in 3 places.
Yeah, my county can be fixed.
I wish they would fix it.
We
was
will.
right in the heart of town.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do like more.
State lanes find out the plants as well. It's in the field.
So it's called on the road off. There's a paving truck.
That happens.
It can be straight off. Getting one split. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, like you said.
If it would rain, it might help.
This week.
No. We're good. Maybe Monday. That's the only day they call.
The other one is LSA, but LSA is open now, it's open through November 30th. The city always applies for a month to LSA, like police car, different things, and I don't really want to pay. They're like, sit in themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah. That's right. Okay. West County. Yeah. It's not better.
Nice cow.
So that.
Somewhere else.
I think so, Brian.
Sounds good.
I shot one, I took sound.
Yeah.
They want to dance.
Well,
It all.
Water jet.
The calories, that's how the calories.
I see some. Interesting journey.
That's available.
Yeah.
That's almost a decade. 18 months old.
Morning, Brian. How are you? Good. How are you? Real good. Hey, how you doing? Good. Hey, Bill.
Yes. I'm CB.
Yeah. More welcome. A couple minutes, so we'll just wait till he gets here.
Oh, yeah, yes. So we have this.
Yeah. Good, how are you?
Yeah, right.
What's that?
That's that.
Hi, Bob.
Over there.
Oh, she's been here a year and a half, 2 years.
I
Yeah.
met her.
No? Okay.
I saw her as well.
Oh, okay. No. That's how close you're getting. Yeah, he's a, there you go. I love that. I bet it's. Yeah, no.
He's on his way.
He's like Gene there. Yeah. Or Spock.
I put it on Facebook.
We ready?
Do we have anything we need to be displaying on the screen, ladies? You got people on the screen. To do your share. There you go.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. We will welcome, everybody, call the meeting to order of the September 10th Coordinating Committee meeting. I do want to once again welcome Ally, to her first Coordinating Committee meeting of the MPO. So welcome. She did a great job at the, technical committee, last week, or not last month, I guess it was. So we'll call this meeting to order and glad to have her aboard. Is there any public comment on the agenda items? If not, do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes of the June 11th meeting? Bill with a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Second by Jason. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, moving on to agenda item number 4. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Well, there's hearing of the public again at the end of the meeting as well. Okay, all right, great. 2025, 2028 administrative modifications and informational items. Is Julia joining us?
Yes, can you all hear me okay?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. So I just wanted to cover one, sorry, there's a little bit of an echo. I just wanted to cover one administrative action. It's on the next page if you scroll down. Sorry, scroll again. There we go. So this is, I want to talk about administrative action number 1 on there. This was to add additional preliminary engineering funding to the project. 150,000 in state 185 funds were added to the PE phase of MPMS number 84910, which is the SR 4013 over Elk Creek project in federal fiscal year 2025. And the source of that funding was from MPMS 1127, which was deferred to a later federal fiscal year. That was actually the only action I wanted to highlight. But as always, I can take any questions if anyone has them on the administrative actions or the informational items.
The tip. Is there, Julia?
Yeah.
Is there a vote needed to add to the tip, the West 38th Street project?
Oh, so that, yeah, that could be the next point. I think maybe if Sarah or Courtney is there and they want to speak to that, but no vote needed for my administrative actions, but the next one will be a vote. That's okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Julia. You're gonna hang on the line till the end of the meeting?
Yes, yeah.
Great, okay. And then I guess we move on to agenda item B, an update from Courtney.
A, we'll finish A, I guess, the vote for you for the.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was finding it, the action here. So for West 38th and Liberty Street, we're asking for a vote to add PE and construction. We have some HSIP funding that we're gonna put on this current project.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any
387.
questions of Sarah regarding this before we call for a vote?
This is a study of the intersection.
30th and Liberty, you said, right?
Mhm.
Okay. If no questions, Sarah, do I have a motion to add the West 38th Street and Liberty project?
Yes, please.
All right. Do I have a motion?
I'll say that.
Oh, all right, we got a motion and back by Matt, second by Mark Welcome. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, great. Now to the Courtney show.
Yes, so attached in the agenda for today was the proposed list of projects that we showed at the last meeting last month. With the links for everyone to be able to look at any, locations if we wanted any of the projects. The one comment I did want to make is we are still evaluating the submissions that were sent in for requests for projects to be added. We have two that are left on our list that we're going through, which is the intersection project in Mill Creek Township that was submitted, as well as, the intersection project that we in Fairview that was submitted. So we are still looking through those applications and the, studies as a part of that. Did anyone have any questions about any of the projects that were sent out so far? I have not received any, emails or questions about any projects since the last meeting. But you guys feel free to email me. If you click on the blue links, when you go to the agenda, it'll take you to the location on the one map. It will show you the limits for any of the roadways projects. You can see exactly the beginning and end for each of those. And the bridge projects will take you to the locations where that bridge is located. That's all I have.
Any questions of Courtney? Okay, with none, we'll move on to agenda item 5. Matt, Jonas, if you'd like to give us any further update.
Sure, kind of old news, but, we got a request from Venango Township for construction of paved road bridge, $700,000. This was reviewed by the local use fee subcommittee. It was recommended for the TAC is now recommending it to you. It's a $700,000 project. It's slated for 2027. I keep with the cash flow. You can see the cash flow model on the screen. So, right now we're pretty well packed with bridges that we're working on. So this one will go into 2027. If approved.
Okay, we need a motion to add that, correct, Ally?
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion to add the Page Road Bridge project in Venango Township?
I'll take that motion.
Mark with the motion, Bill with the second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Yes, Mr. Mitchell.
Information. Can you tell us what the local use fee is? I'm sure most everyone knows, but a lot of times we use terms and then it's a long time.
So.
How we get that money?
Yeah, so the local use fee is the $5 registration fee that's added on whenever you get your license plate renewed. So we use that into a pool. We get payments from PennDOT quarterly or semi-annually. Semi-annually, so we get 2 payments a year, and primarily the funding has been used for poor condition bridges. And we're still kind of working our way through the poor condition bridges. I believe there's maybe just a handful of poor condition bridges left that haven't been addressed, so we've been kind of plugging down the list pretty well and getting it all done. Now, after all the bridges have been, poor condition bridges have been repaired, we'll kind of revisit it and see what else we want to use the local use fee for, but we got a few years until we have to address that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, Letter B, Ally, do you have any sort of an update on the LRTP?
Yes, so in your packets, you will find a flyer with a QR code that will take you to the county's website for the long-range transportation plan. And it will have a survey and a wiki map, which you can tell us any transportation needs, concerns you have in your area. And then along with that, LRTP packets were sent to each municipalities. So far, we've only received 17 out of the 41 packets sent, so please send that as soon as possible to myself or Jessica. If you need physical copies, electronic copies, we'd be more than happy to provide those to you. And then we do have 4 stakeholder meetings coming up. They will be held on September 16th at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. so day and night. And then on the 18th in the afternoon at 1 and at 6 p.m. All the meetings will be held here, actually, at the Summit Township Building. So invites were sent. If you did not get one, please let me know. We make sure to contact everyone who will be a stakeholder. If you have any questions or anything, please contact myself or Jessica. And then along with that, there will be a public meeting in mid-October. We're looking at around October 16th. An invite will be sent to everyone here for that as well.
The packet that you received via email, if you have not sent that back, Ellie, do you have the paper copies with you? If some, she may have a paper copy, you want to fill it out. It was for you to look at your last LRTP, the 2050 LRTP, to see if your projects were still either completed, ongoing, keep the project, things like that. And then it also, we included in their hazard mitigation projects too, because the hazard mitigation plan is up for a mid-cycle review. So those, just to get a one-stop shop to find out where your projects land, whether you're keeping them in the 2052 LRTP. And if you need a paper copy, we can give you your paper copy. Also, if you want to bring them to the stakeholder meeting, which one of these stakeholder meetings you're attending, as long as we get those back, because we're not going to assume that your projects stay in the long range transportation plan unless we hear from you, or if you have new projects or ideas to be considered. So, that's an important piece of the process. And then the public meetings will be for public engagement. We ask you to take these flyers out of your packet if you can, put those on your Facebooks, your socials, your websites, whatever, so people start to fill out the survey and use the wiki map. You know, that's the interactive map where you can plop a pin on where you know of a transportation issue, whether it's bicycle, pedestrian, motor vehicle, you know, intersection, whatever, where you want to put that pin. So we really want to have a robust public participation in this round. So we want to make sure people are pushing that out. So we're not restricting the public from getting involved, even though we're still at stakeholder process. We're just kind of trying to make this a public process all along the way. Then we will have 2 public meetings in October. Did we fix the date?
We're looking at October 16th.
Looking at October 16th, yeah. And WRA is the consultant, and they're really kind of keeping us doing all the right things at the right time. So we appreciate that. Did anybody not get a stakeholder invitation? Anybody?
Ally, did you get mine that I send it to you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so it took me 10 minutes to go through, so don't think it's a very tedious task, so please try to get those back to Ally. Certainly, is that it, Ally? Do you want to cover multimodal now, the long as you're on a roll?
Yeah, might as
Okay,
well.
all right, and then we'll come to you, Matt.
I do have a little snippet from Emerson. So last month at the TAC meeting, the committee was informed about the successful grant application put forward by the Erie MPO to the PA Walk Works program. This secures $50,000 to study the potential for bike share and other micromobility in Erie County. To administer the grant and further the MPO's efforts with active transportation, accessibility, and complete streets, the committee unanimously voted to form a multimodal subcommittee to serve as an advisory body on these and other emerging transportation issues. Committee membership is open to all MPO members, community representatives, and you all are encouraged to participate. The first meeting will be held on Wednesday, October 8th
from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the planning department office. If you're interested in joining the subcommittee, please see me, Jessica, or contact Emerson at the planning department.
Alrighty. We'll move back up to C. I know there was a lot of discussion at the last TAC meeting regarding the MPO bylaws, and Matt did a great job kind of leading that discussion, and maybe Matt has some updates or possibly invitation for more to join.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. I'm just gonna briefly go over, I know there's a lot of overlap here between the groups, but just wanna be complete in my report. As everybody in this committee remembers, we did a presentation in the June meeting about changes to the MPO bylaws. That included some changes to the makeup of the membership. We got a lot of input and discussion from this group during that meeting. And so we went back and had subsequent subcommittee meetings. And in the August technical advisory committee meeting, we presented that incorporated those changes. And it was proposed bylaws for the TAC to hopefully vote to approve or recommend approval for this committee. During the presentation, the discussion, it was apparent that people still wanted to have additional input on the bylaws and the membership makeup. And so a vote was taken by the TAC to table changes to the bylaws. So those are on the table right now. We are going to go back and look based on some of the feedback that we got from that meeting. One of the points that was made when it was tabled was a question about whether the bylaws had been reviewed by any legal counsel. And so Jessica had passed the bylaws along to the county solicitor in order for him to review those and give us comments back. Additionally, we will have more subcommittee meetings to talk about the membership makeup. I mentioned at the TAC meeting that, everybody on the committee felt that they had done their best and thought that they had good rationale for the rationale for the way that we came up with the makeup of the membership, that it was very data driven, but obviously there were some concerns with that. And so I'll make the same offer here that I made there, is that we would appreciate it. We need additional input and members to that subcommittee. If there are concerns with how things came about, we'd love that. We did have some people volunteer after the TAC, but I want to also put that out to this committee. If there are any members that would like to join the bylaws subcommittee, you are welcome to. And then once we have any new additional members, we can schedule a meeting in the near future to review what we've heard and see if we can come up with any alternative proposals.
Thank you, Matt. Do you have a date for the next subcommittee
We
meeting?
do not, because we want to make sure that it works for all, there are a couple of new members.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get a few more from this group and then we'll work to set a date that works for.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I would just, we have, 20 plus people here, and how many online? Everybody needs to hear that Matt is going to schedule at least one more subcommittee meeting. And if you are interested and you want to have input, we're letting you know now another meeting's coming. So you need to make accommodations to attend these meetings if you want input. So I'm sure Ally will send information out when the meetings are scheduled, and attend them. Matt's looking for help, looking for input. The subcommittee meeting or crew did a great job. Gave their best effort and are always open to more suggestions.
For the group's information, the original subcommittee was Matt, myself, Mike Baker from Corey, Leanne Parmenter, Brandon Leach from PennDOT Central Office. And we did receive an outreach from Anna at the port to join and Marcus from Westerville to join the subcommittee, but that's where we're at right now. So if anyone else, like Tim said, wants to join, we need to know so we can include you in the subcommittee.
All right, moving on to agency updates. Did I see Dave?
Yeah.
From EMTA?
Yeah, Tammy can round to the.
Okay.
All right, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Perfect, okay. So, the final two pages in this packet, as of whichever one I got last week, are basically all of the performances of our rolling stock, our equipment and our facilities. So the last page here is the group performance, for the prior year. And I will just kind of give an example here so we can understand it. 5 lines down is the percent of revenue vehicles that have met or exceeded their useful life. So as a group, it was 29.7%. EMTA, however, was 53.8%. So we do have a much more antiquated fleet. But we do also have 8 more buses on order, which will be getting rid of the diesel buses and also increasing our CNG fleet for our fixed routes. So that's pretty much what the numbers kind of explain here. You can kind of see the cutaway vehicles here. Those are our paratransit. As a group, it was 58%, and EMTA performance was 51%. So this is kind of just a measure that is put in place by PennDOT to basically enable agencies to maintain our assets at a state of good repair. So I believe we just needed to present these and possibly vote on these, but that might actually have to be done at the next meeting. So we can do that as well. Do we have any questions?
Any questions of Danny? And is there any sort of a, just to,
Yes,
Okay.
this does have to be voted on.
okay, do I have a motion to adopt the 2025 AM plan?
So moved.
A motion, Ron with a second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Danny, appreciate it. Thank you, Dave. Mark Nicholson, PennDOT District 1 updates.
Yep, good morning, everybody. We did update the PennDOT project newsletter last week, provided it to the MPO. Just to highlight a couple of projects that are in the newsletter. To be let later this year, during the fall, we have the paving project in Erie, which will pave Route 426, Route 77, Washington, and I think Center Streets. So it's a very significant paving project in the city of Erie. We do have the final plan specs and estimate in. We're getting close to having that advertised. That'll be in construction next year. We also have the city of Erie multimodal project on State Street that'll pave several of the intersections on State Street. That's also, we've just got the plans in for that within the last week or so. So we're going through our final reviews and approvals. Hope to have that advertised here in a couple of weeks. That also will be in construction next summer as well. Looking ahead into 2026, we have a couple large interstate paving projects, or interstate projects, one of which is the 79 paving from essentially the Edinburgh exit north to just north of the interchange with I-90. So pretty large paving project there. We also have the Interstate 79 bridges that are over the railroad tracks just south of 12th Street. That's going to be a very large bridge rehabilitation project. It's probably going to span a couple of years for construction. That one will be let in the spring of next year and probably go for several years to complete all that. We'll be maintaining traffic on those bridges while we're on that rehab. The other project that we did add was asked about in one of the last meetings, and that was the widening of Peach Street from Thorn Road to Robinson Road. We have added that to the newsletter. That project right now is scheduled to be let in 2027. It's going to involve widening both sides of existing Peach Street to add a center turn lane through that corridor. There's also going to be some improvements at the Robinson Road intersection as well as part of that project. They're still preliminary engineering with that. They're working towards a design use submission later this year. You may see some public involvement, information coming out here this fall as well. Any questions on those or any other projects that were mentioned in the news?
Mark, could we have you resend the newsletter and
It was
Ally can
sent.
get it out?
Send Monday.
Oh, you must have missed it because it didn't get in the packet, so we can distribute it to the MPO, group, email group. Make sure we get that.
I sent Monday. just
Oh,
a
you
second
did
ago.
resend it,
I
Sarah?
just resent it.
Okay, so we'll get it out to everybody here so they can put their eyes on it and they have questions.
I've got one more update if I could add to Mark's. Just wanted to mention the Bayfront Parkway project. I think probably everybody who lives nearby might know or drives through the area knows or watches the news might know that we did shut down the parkway as planned Tuesday of last week after Labor Day. I haven't driven through it myself yet. I've just heard a lot of, the folks, the boots on the ground are giving me reports that things are going well. The contractor is making a ton of progress in just a week's time, being able to shut down the parkway that way. So I'm excited about it, hoping and praying for good weather this winter that they can keep being productive all winter long. And we do have a camera on the top of UPMC Hammett where we're, get a panoramic view. We're able to do time lapse and things like that. And some of those things will be posted on the project Facebook page in the near future is the plan. So if anybody follows that page, if you want to see some of that progress, that'll be available soon.
Since you open that, can we talk about the Bayfront project from our perspective since we're there?
Sure.
And the, folks in our office are looking at, obviously both from the transportation side and from what's happening on the ground right there. It's been brought to our attention, the need for more detour signs. On the local roads, East Lake, East 8th and East 10th, where you're approaching from the city and you can get on the Bayfront connector. There's no warning to not really travel north on the Bayfront. And the first time you get an actual detour is around the wastewater treatment plant. So folks are getting, if you're north of 12th and you're jumping on Bayfront thinking you're gonna get through to go to West Side, Mill Creek or whatnot, they're not getting warned until they get all the way to the treatment plant, and then they're gonna have to turn around or go up Holland or things like that. So I don't know who's responsible for those things because they're city roads, but there's really not a lot of notification when you're traveling on the local roads to prevent you from heading north on the Bayfront. And so people are like turning around or they're doing kind of crazy stuff once they get there. And then second, I don't know how the routes, like Google mapping routes are made up, but the Google is routing you. If you're trying to get to West Mill Creek from our office, it's routing you up Holland and across 4th Street from Holland at 4th all the way to Cranberry. It's telling you to go back down from Cranberry and get on the Bayfront again and then take from there. But the intersection situation at Cranberry and the Bayfront's a little precarious. I'm sure the city will see this because 4th Street and Cranberry and the Bayfront are a very short intersection. And if you're queuing up the cars on Cranberry to try to enter back onto the Bayfront, the cars at 4th are stuck because they can't get out. So there's a bit of a traffic jam that's circling there. And that's a Google map that's routing you from our offices up Holland across 4th to get back on the Bayfront to go to the west side. So I don't know how Google Maps is involved with detouring. And I don't know the impact on the city with a lot of traffic on 4th Street from Holland all the way to Cranberry is a pretty long way on 4th Street. So I just didn't know how you address those detours.
Yeah, we can talk with the construction team about some of those things and see what can be done. We do have, we have some input to Google Map output, so we can tell them when a road's closed or that type of thing. I don't think we can give preferred routes though. So is that how you understand it?
sort of a strange thing that it would route from Holland up to Fourth and all the way across Fourth and put you
It's-
back on Cranberry to go to Mill Creek.
I'm guessing it's looking at more of the traffic coming from further away. Like to warn them not to go down to the bayfront, so I'm guessing that's what it's doing, however, those algorithms and different things in the program are.
That part we can't affect. So it does its math.
Yeah.
That, you know, what we can input is if there's a road closed or a detour, you know, we can put that kind of, so obviously the Bayfront Parkway, it should be, if it's sounds like it's working the way, well, it's partly working the way it was supposed to, and that
Telling people to close.
the closure is accurate in there.
Right.
How it's doing its calculation, yeah, probably nothing we can do about that, but we'll talk to the team. We got traffic experts so we can ask.
Yeah, and certainly everything's time of day. Certainly there's times of day, there's nobody gonna be queued up on Cranberry, but at high traffic times, routing you to come to Cranberry at that intersection at Bayfront and Fourth Street's kind of a strange little triangle there. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
That creates a little bottleneck right there. And then was there any more work noting that at East Front, there's a traffic signal at East Front and Holland that is activated. The traffic signal at East Front State is not activated yet. I don't know if it needs to be, but it is hanging there. And was there any more discussion of pedestrian crossing signals on East Front? Because there are two pedestrian crosswalks painted, one down by the hotel and one towards Holland near the library, but there's no traffic signal activation or anything. I don't know, a flasher, there's a sign.
They're ordered, yeah. The
Oh, yeah.
flashers are not installed yet. You're saying the push button flashers are
Yeah,
not?
there's nothing installed there.
They're installed and it's waiting on procurement. So, I don't think I got an update this week, but last week they weren't sure quite when those would be in, but I got the sense that it was within a matter of weeks. So we'll check in on that. Yeah, and the signal at State and Front, I believe we had it there proactively in case it's needed, but thought that stop signs could probably do the trick.
Yeah,
So we wanted to see how it worked and, does that sound right to you, or is there a plan to turn on?
not really sure if you need it either,
Yeah.
because you're only talking about,
The three-way stop there,
Yeah,
really almost two-way.
yeah,
yeah.
nobody's really heading down or up Dobbins.
Right.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of, I would say, proactive preparation of us partnering with the city on thinking through things. So I I appreciate your input on some of those details, but, we're pretty pleased overall with how we're hearing it's going, all things considered. But yeah, we've got your comments and follow up.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I had the honor last week of getting involved in that corridor. The Sons of the Erie had their annual strike. And so I went around the roundabout, really, I think it's on the road. Very nice job. But Ed Kitzel brought up a point that I'd just like to put on the board. He said some communities use that wall, that huge wall there, to do promotion, beautification and promotion. We've got that Chinese wall there, along, the Bayfront. And we were talking, he brought that idea up that maybe we could work with the art community or somebody in the tourism community to beautify sections of that, so you just don't have that big mass of gray concrete looking at you. And of course, that is the one point in Erie where we get probably 70% of our visitors from out of town. So I don't know, I'm just putting it up there. It's for discussion. I think there could be art communities involvement. And also, I don't know if there's funding out there for those types of beautification projects. So just wanted to advance that forward.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Yeah, and for everybody's awareness, the wall that Mr. Mitchell's talking about right by the roundabout at SAS was painted. It's going to get a lot of landscaping, so there will be really a green screen as kind of what the design intent was of evergreen trees and other landscaping in front of that wall, tall enough trees to basically block that, the view of that wall. But I did have an artist reach out to me in the last couple of months with a similar request. And she mentioned that wall and the other one that's further to the west there, which is not part of our project, not being painted. So at the time, my suggestion was that she focus on that one further to the west. We do have a mural program. It's an agreement that we enter into with the municipality. So I put her in touch with our PennDOT person who handles that, but it would, ultimately, obviously the city of Erie would be involved in any of that. And to your point, if the art community, however that's done, we're happy to be partners in it. Yep.
Any other questions of PennDOT? Yes, Mr. Rum.
We're gonna start the third bridge.
I don't,
You'd miss me if I didn't ask you.
I have no idea. I
Well,
don't know if
the old
anybody-
99 bridges, yeah, I haven't heard an update on that recently. That's why I was asking it before the meeting too. But, I know they had the utility issue there to move the utilities, and I think that occurred. So that, it should be next on the line there.
Yeah, we'll get you an answer. Got two built, 2 out of 3.
One's done, the other one looks to me like a couple weeks it will be done.
Yep.
And the third one, although they put a second start date on it, they haven't started it yet, for the third one.
Was that all this season or was that last season as well?
It's all this season.
Okay. You got 2 new bridges in a season?
Two new, one new, one Daniel.
All right.
Did you get that message, Ron?
My hearing went bad.
All right, if there's no other questions, District 1, Julia, do you have any, other updates from central office?
Yeah, just a few short ones. One that I didn't mention earlier is that we actually have a new transportation planning specialist trainee who started in the section with me and Brandon. Her name is Susan Hyde. She'll be on the meetings from now on. I'm still the main liaison, but I just kind of wanted to give her a shout out. And then my 2 announcements are just for about TASA, the Transportation Alternative Set Aside. So the draft applications were due last Friday on the 5th. There's a short grace period if needed. And final applications are still due on October 31st of this year. And then for the NEVI program, or the National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure, so in accordance with the updated program guidance, PennDOT has also submitted a new NEVI state plan and a new request for full build-out certification to the federal government in accordance with the new NEVI guidance that was released on August 11th. Those are my announcements. If anyone has any questions, let me know.
Any questions of Julia? All right, seeing none or hearing none, any other business that needs to be discussed? No, we move on to hearing of the public. I believe Mr. Mitchell.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had invited Christina Vogel to the meeting today. As you know, the county is a very important component to the MPO. And Christina's taken on the challenge of running for county executive. And I talked to her about, I worked with Christina on the community college board. We're both founders of the community college, so I've worked with her for 3 years. And I know that she always wants to learn, so I invited her today to be to the meeting to see how the MPO works, the connections. I think, the things that you heard today show definite connections with the county. Jessica does a fantastic job, and our staff, are coming in now, and Emily. And so the interaction between the county and the MPO is extremely important. So I wanted her to see that and to learn that connection. So, thank you. And I don't know, do you have anything to say, Christina, or?
No. Thank you. Thanks for having me here. Appreciate it.
And secondly, I'm sorry, Jason, I missed the ribbon cutting for the bridge. Could you just tell us how that went and how you're working, how the bridge is working out?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we, the mayor cut the ribbon on Monday, August 25th. And, I know some of you were able to make it, so thank you for that. But, went well and, bridge is in use and, good feedback so far. And so, and I just want to, again, thank the MPO, both coordinating and the subcommittee too, for all of your support on this project.
That was a particularly hard project for us to.
Yeah, it's a little bit behind schedule, but it ended up pretty close to budget. I think slightly over budget, but that was more due to some drainage and some other things we had to add on to that. But, all in all, went pretty well. And, other than just, it was a little bit of a delay, for things outside of our control. All of it was due to procurement of materials, things like that.
You said the feedback has been good from people.
Yes.
We're using it. Yeah, that was one project that the MPO really, what they do with them, work with the city on. Very proud of them. Thank you.
Question on that one though, have they, or is there a date set yet for finishing the blacktop and up and down that street?
Yeah, September 8th, which was this past. Actually, yeah, we did that, on Monday this week. So what we did was, there was a 280-foot stretch that was included in the bridge work. And so we've now completed with our Bureau of Streets, the section south and north of that. So, but again, it's an overlay, it's a temporary, endeavor.
I thought I took my SWAT and my car out.
Yeah, I know it's bad. And all that to do with a water main that was installed in there as well for the pump sake.
Any other public comment? Seeing none, I do want to thank Summit Township for once again hosting us today. And our next TAP meeting is on November 12th at the EMTA. Do I have a motion for adjournment? Here we go. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Oh, no. Yes. I'm getting out.